the numerous tests that we had to take from our return back to campus in late May all the way through. It's been a team effort. Not only our football players, but our families, our support people, our administration, and most importantly, our players bought in. That's probably why over the course of the last couple weeks, 2 weeks, we had 0 positives out of 400 tests, or roughly 400 tests that we took. And I think it shows the maturity of our group. We talked about it way back in March 14th, the day after our last normal day, that the teams that were the most mature were going to be able to handle this the best. And I think our kids did. There's been a whole lot going on that they've had to handle. School, the unique situation that schools presented with online classes, with the high flex, and it continued to impress not only myself, but our entire university. So hats off to all the people that helped us. Today's Central Arkansas, I needed, their program. Thank you for coming to play us. It was a tough road trying to find games, and I appreciate them. I told Coach out there after the game and before the game, I have the utmost respect for their program and their willingness to play us. And I know we got a couple other games with them down the road, and I'm excited that we're going to continue to play them because they do it the right way. They play extremely hard. They had a great plan today. We knew they were talented. We've talked about it with our football team for the last 7 weeks, that this game, that there was going to be some dynamic playmakers in purple and white today. And we saw that. We need to continue to get better. I'm super proud and excited that our kids were able to get the victory. And now we need to get back and start to regroup a little bit and treat this next couple months like off season so we can be ramped up and ready to go for the spring.
Thank you, Coach. We'll begin with our first question from Jeff Kolpak at the forum. Jeff.
Hey, Matt, evaluate Trey Lance's performance today.
Oh, I think there's probably some throws he wish he could have back. I know I'm looking at the stats real quick. I know he had a ton of yards rushing today. And that's one of the things he provides. His legs, he can extend plays. Central Arkansas was playing a ton of back to the ball defense during the course of the game. And, he made them pay a couple times with his ability to scramble and his ability to operate our offense. We can run some run game through him from the quarterback position. But knowing him, he's the utmost competitor. I'm sure he wishes he had a couple throws back, but that's why we're going to continue to coach him and excited about where he's going to go from here.
Did you put him in the run game as the game went on, or is that part of the plan?
I think it was part of the plan, things that we had practiced during the course of the game. A lot of time, anytime teams are going to try to defend you in single high defense, you feel pretty comfortable that they're going to run out of fitters, and the last fitter is going to be that free safety. So it was part of our plan going into the game.
And he put the game away, essentially. Isn't that what great quarterbacks do when you're up 4 and you put it away?
Well, I think just at the end of the game, being able to be efficient with the football, he made some big-time throws. I need to make Braylon Henderson, a young man from the Frisco area down in Texas, a couple 3 big catches, a big punt return today. But you see the connection and the trust that Trey has in all of his skill kids. And so, to make those plays, to make those throws in the last, 5 to 7 minutes of the game and really put it out of reach was excellent for him.
Thank you.
Your next question is from Dom Izzo at WDAY-TV. Dom?
Matt, can you describe what you got out of this game today?
Well, I think, just the comment I made just a second ago about Braylon Henderson, Hunter Luepke, Cole Wisniewski. I think you saw a lot of names pop up. I don't have the stats necessarily right here in front of me where I can read them, but Seth Wilson, how about the energy that young man brought to the team coming off an ACL tear, his first opportunity to be back. His story was he had the Oregon game circled. That was his target date to be back from that ACL, and it got delayed a little bit, but it was sure fun to see him excited to play football again. He has done everything we've asked, and he has worked extremely hard to put himself in a situation where he could help the football team win. And I think Dom Jones on special teams. I could go on and on, but that's what we wanted to see. We knew we were a young football team. Again, only 16 seniors. That's 2 years back to back that we've had a limited senior class. We got a ton of underclassmen, and this was their opportunity to maybe not play in front of as big a crowd, but to play when it counts and to get out there and do their thing.
I noticed pregame how enthusiastic you were with the guys. Was that a conscious effort, knowing that the crowd wasn't going to be able to bring any energy today?
Well, we talked, the minute the decision was made, and again, I need to make a comment, our players wanted nothing more than this place to be full. And they can't wait till the spring when our fans are back. Hopefully their voices are ready to go. And it's going to sound and feel like the Fargo Dome that we all enjoy. But we started talking early this week, BYOE, bring your own energy. And we needed to do that. Coaching staff, our players, our leadership on the team, there was going to be no excuses, and there is no excuses for us. The expectation and the standard is to win football games at NDSU.
Thanks, Matt.
Your next question is from Mike McFeely at the forum. Mike?
Hey, Matt.
Mike, how are you?
Can you talk a little bit about the pregame video, making the Black Lives Matter supporting statement? And also you had about 15 players kneeling during the national anthem. How did that come about? Explain.
Well, the video was really the project started with a young man who's not bashful to the camera. Phoenix Sproles took the lead on that, and I think did an outstanding job. It was something that our entire football team had talked about. We'd had numerous conversations in regards to the things that are going on in our country right now besides the pandemic. And there was a lot of guys that requested that Phoenix put something together. And those were the words that he put together. He asked our communications department to be and marketing department to be a piece. And I was excited that it came out. We showed the team on Monday, and I think they were all extremely impressed. As far as the kneeling, I wasn't aware. Mike, my routine is I'm going to say a prayer during to myself. I'm going to appreciate my family. I'm going to make sure that both teams are safe. I didn't see anyone take a knee, but at the same time, I really wasn't looking. I know I was arm in arm with our football team, and the number one thing we wanted to express to everyone is there's great unity in this football program. And I think when you talk about Bison pride and you talk about servant leadership, making sure that the needs of your teammates are met before yours, that's what our team's about, and will continue to be about that.
Any concerns that you're crossing a political line with some of your fans? I've already seen some of the social media comments on some of the stuff, and any concern there with that you're getting out of the football side of things to get into the political side of things?
Yeah, you know, I told my players I'm going to support them, and I got their back. I'm sure, you know, Mike, the easy way to avoid criticism is to say nothing, do nothing, or be nothing. And I don't think that's what this program's built on.
Thank you.
Your next question is from Nick Cousin at KBRR TV. Nick?
Hey, Coach, what helped you get out of that slow start you guys had in the first quarter there?
Well, I think just consistency and coming back to the plays that we had practiced over and over during the lead up to this game. It wasn't as if we were off. We're just, you know, it's a game of inches, and we needed just to settle down a little bit. We needed to get in our comfort zone. I think we started to find some things that we liked later in the second half. And you know, that just shows the resolve of our football team. No one was panicked. We knew that we were better than what we were putting on the field. We just needed to continue to go back and make the routine plays. That was my message at halftime in regards to just make the routine plays, and then all of a sudden, you know what, a big one will happen when you least expect it.
And what made Trey so impactful today with his second half play?
Well, I think his ability to run the football. Those are things that he's been able to do over the course of the last 17 games. He's a dynamic athlete. He's a big physical athlete that has great speed and great understanding of our offense.
Your next question is from Eric Peterson at the forum. Eric?
Just describe Hunter Luepke's day. It seemed to give you a spark in the first half with that run that set up your first touchdown, then caught the one to kind of help clinch it. I mean, all the stars being talked about, it seems like your fullback had a pretty big role today.
You know, he did. He had a huge role in the game plan. I think sometimes to call him a fullback is almost a little bit of a disservice. Yeah, he does do a lot of blocking, but this is a 250-pound athlete that can move really well. He's got great speed. In high school, you know, this young man had dozens upon dozens of touchdowns. He's used to carrying the football, and he comes to practice every day. And Tyler Roll does an outstanding job of preparing not just him, but the whole room of tight ends and fullbacks to prepare. So I don't think it's a surprise. We see it every day at practice, his ability to be a difference maker for us.
And is it something you saw as the game developed, or was it something coming into the game you knew you had a couple of plays you liked for him?
Well, we had a couple of plays that we liked. I think we just saw as the game went on, the effectiveness of having that big back that, you know, and we were doing a great job on some of our slant game or our outside zone game of getting the perimeter blocked up. And, you know, when you're 250 pounds and you have good speed, it takes a load to bring them down.
Hey, James, what did Central Arkansas present that made it tough to defend them for a while?
It's always hard to defend the RPO. They were making 50-50 balls on us, and that hurt us a lot. They got into a lot of unbalanced stuff, and we just didn't make plays in it.
You guys had a lot of chances to watch film on them. Did they surprise you with anything?
A little bit. They haven't run the QB all year, and then they ran them quite a bit today. So that was a little bit of a surprise. But we went on and executed and ultimately won the game.
Do you have a feeling this was their game of the year? That they were pointing at you, you know, considering all their games?
Yeah, everyone wants to come in the Fargo Dome and upset NDSU. So when people come in here, we get their best effort, and we know that.
What was it like playing in this kind of an atmosphere?
It was a little bit different, but we had a ton of fun. We were flying around out there, getting excited for each other. We love our fans, so it hurts to not have them in the stand, but we were thankful to have our families and friends in the stands today.
Thanks.
Your next question's from Dom Izzo at WDAY-TV. Dom.
You want to evaluate how you thought game one as a starting linebacker went?
It went all right. I left a couple plays out there today, made a couple, but we got a lot of room for improvement, so I'm excited about that.
How weird is this going to be that now you shut it down? You play this one game and then, okay, now you can't play again for another 6 months.
Yeah, we're going to go back to training. We're going to watch film on this game and continue to get better, and we'll be excited and ready to go when the spring comes.
Describe, I guess, how the defense adjusted specifically in the second half. After Trey gave you guys the lead, they go right down and score. What happened on defense after that?
We started the second half slow. We talked about not doing that, but we ended up doing it. But as the second half continued, we cinched it up. We started playing better defense.
Thanks, bud.
Your next question's from Ross Uglum at Bison Report. Ross, go ahead.
Hey, James, what did you guys do differently defensively against the RPO that ended up working? It seemed like specifically they were able to kind of either option the end or option the outside linebacker on a number of occasions and sort of just flip it over a couple guys' heads.
Yeah, ultimately we just got to be a little more patient. When you play RPO, that backside safety, typically the strong safety who's in the fit, needs to play patient and hold off that RPO window.
How did you feel like Kaczor played today in his first action at that linebacker spot his brother held down for so long? Man,
I love my man Kaczor. He played great today. Left a few plays out there, but we all did. I'm excited for what the future holds for me, him and Hanky.
Yeah, what was it like watching Hanky today? He was a monster.
Yeah, I also love my man Hanky. Big shout out to him. He helps run the defense. He's the quarterback of the defense. Gets us lined up, and we know Hanky's going to produce every single game.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Your next question's from Mike McFeely at the Forum. Mike.
Hey, James, what are your thoughts on the pregame video that you guys played in support of social justice?
Yeah, we're here to support our brothers. Ultimately, sin is in the world, and it will be until Jesus comes back. But when it is here, all we can do is just love on each other and provide hope.
Was there any discussion among the team as to doing that? I mean, were there guys that had some reservations about it, or what were the discussions like?
No, we were open to it. We had leadership meetings since the start of all this stuff. We've had leadership meetings talking about it, sharing how we feel about it, what we can do as a team to make this community, to make Fargo better, to make this world better.
I didn't notice. Were you one of the players that kneeled before the game? I saw Trey, and I counted about 15 guys that kneeled. Were you one of them?
No, I was holding my good friend Zach Mathis's hand during the anthem.
Okay. You were okay with guys kneeling?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have one more question in the queue. It's from Dave Kolpak at the Associated Press. Dave, go ahead.
Hey James, I know when the offense is out there, you're busy, you know, in your defensive meetings, but when Trey threw that interception, what was your thought there? Were you stunned?
Trey's not perfect. He's a really, 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 really good football player. But sometimes things just don't go your way. You read something incorrectly, and the defense stepped up and made a stop there.
Thank you. Good game.
Thank you. And we'll take one more from Ross Uglum at Bison Report. Ross.
James, real quick, I know you guys aren't, there to make excuses, but did you feel like you were kind of a team playing their first game against a team that had played a couple already? Did you guys get that feeling?
We're not going to make excuses for that. We were ready to play. We've been practicing for 5 weeks, and we treat practice like a game, so we had plenty of games in.
Hunter, do you have to convince people that you scored nearly 100 touchdowns in high school that they probably don't believe that, and then that was kind of proof of what you saw out here today?
No, I don't really. It's not a stat that really matters to me now. The past is the past, but I'm just worried about run blocking and doing whatever I need to do when my number's called.
I think for some that may not know your game, how athletic you really are, was that a chance to show that off today and a little bit at the end of last season, specifically today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to do whatever I can do to help the team win on Saturday. So if my number's called, I'll do 110% every time.
Thanks, bud.
Your next question's from Eric Peterson at the Forum. Eric, go ahead.
Hey, Hunter. Coach Matt Entz said it was a disservice to call you a fullback. How do you categorize yourself as a player?
I think I'm a chief, fullback, tight end. Like to kick out power. I like to hit people. So.
Did you think you'd get as many opportunities in the run game and pass catching game today, or did it just kind of develop that way?
We saw a lot of things in film that thought we could open up, like slant and pass powers and stuff like that. So it was a lot of film study, and it just happened to work out that way, I guess.
Thank you.
All right. Your next question's from Mike McFeely at the Forum. Mike.
Hey, Hunter, what was Central Arkansas doing defensively that was causing you guys some problems? That you had trouble early on getting the running game going with your running backs, and it was just kind of a mess there for a while.
I think they presented some different looks and quite a few pressures that we weren't really expecting. Some of them that we weren't able to pick up, which resulted in us not moving the ball that well in the first half. So.
Was there some rust to knock off since it was, you guys' first game and kind of a weird season for everybody all to get, was there a little bit of a adjustment period?
Yeah, I think we were a little flat coming out, but I think we all picked it up and realized that we had to go right now. And I think throughout the game, we just increased playing better and better. And that's all it counts.
Is the flatness, you attribute that to just having no fans in the stands? Was that an odd atmosphere to play a game in?
No, I just think that we came out a little flat, not as I lost the word.
Could you talk about just coming out a little bit flat to start the game?
Yeah, I just think it was a little bit of the first game jitters. That's all.
Okay. When Trey threw the interception, what was your response to that? Since nobody's seen that before, what did it take you by surprise? What was your reaction?
It didn't. I mean, nobody's perfect. I mean, everybody thinks that Trey is because of last season, but I mean, everybody makes a mistake, and I mean, he came up to us right after that, and he was positive, and that really helped us keep moving forward in the game. So,
thank you.
Your next question's from Ross Uglum at Bison Report. Ross.
Hey, Hunter, you guys as an offense haven't been trailing in the fourth quarter in a very long time. What's the message like? What's the huddle like? What's kind of the demeanor when you guys got to go down and score?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about NDSU and our offense is that we don't really stress about all that stuff. We stay level-minded and cool, and I mean, there wasn't any pressure at all. I mean, yeah, we had to score, but we work on so many situations in practice where it's just another situation for us.
What was the feeling like when you got into the end zone in the fourth quarter there, kind of knowing that you had put this one to bed?
It was pretty cool. I mean, I was excited to hear my name called, but then again, I mean, the whole offensive line, wide receivers, and the running backs that blocked for me and I mean, props to them.
Hey Trey, how were you able to what helped you get out of that slow start?
It's just what we do here. We preach finishing, and at the end of the day, I'm just unbelievably proud of our guys, just their resolve, and obviously the defense making plays in clutch situations. But offensively, just unbelievably proud of this group of guys, and our coaching staff. Just thankful for them. At the end of the day, when it's crunch time, we come through.
What made you so comfortable in the second half coming back there?
I think we just beat ourselves. I missed a lot of opportunities in the first half. I think personally. That I think, slowed us down a lot offensively. Obviously third downs, we weren't very efficient. But at the end of the day, confidence is just what we breed here. So I had, complete confidence in our guys and in myself the whole game.
You had some adversity through your first interception. How did you overcome that?
Like I said, it's just playing football. Not really, I guess, anything else to say about that.
All right, your next question's from Jackson Roberts at KVRR TV. Jackson?
Hey, Trey, can you tell me about how this game was different in terms of preparing for it, being that it was just the only one you're going to play this fall?
I think we just prepared like it was a first game of the season. I don't think anything was any different, obviously. The externals, probably not going out to eat or whatever, hanging out with people as much. For some people, might have been a big difference, but I'm a homebody. Me and Phoenix hang out at home a lot, so I don't think it was a whole lot different.
Did you feel there was any rust at all to shake off, being that it had been a while since you guys had played?
I don't think I would say rust. I think that I missed throws, we missed plays that we should have made. But I don't think I'd attribute it to rust or the fans or anything like that. Offensively, just because I'm sure I'll get this question, it was about the same. Because at the end of the day, we can hear a pin drop when we're on offense. So I guess you'd have to ask defensive guys if the crowd, affected anyone. But at the end of the day, I think it just came down to playmaking. Offensive line did a great job, and I just got to make more plays.
Thanks.
Your next question's from Ross Uglum at Bison Report. Ross?
Hey, Trey, you just statistically had a higher yards per carry than the backs. They seem to really be crashing power and causing issues for your backs. What were they showing that you guys maybe hadn't seen or weren't necessarily prepared for?
A couple snaps of coverage zero with 7-man pressures on third downs. But again, I attribute that to not being efficient on first and second down. When we get into 3rd and 10 situations, I think we're in 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 9 plus probably 8 times, 7, 8 times. So, I mean, it's real tough offensively when we get in, put ourselves in those situations.
You have not, I don't believe in your time at all, been trailing in the fourth quarter. What's the demeanor like in the huddle? What are you saying to the guys? I mean, how was that offensive huddle when, you guys needed to score? It was go time.
Yeah, nothing changed. Like I said, complete confidence in ourselves offensively and obviously the defense to get the stop at the end of the game. But nothing changed. We're a confident group. That's never going to change. I think just our program just breeds that, like I said earlier.
Your thoughts on Braylon Henderson today?
Made some plays, just like we knew he could. He's one of those guys that could have played in the national championship. He had already got his 4 games in with Montana State. But just super excited for him to watch him continue to develop and grow. And I guess what you guys saw today was just, a little sneak peek of what I see every single day.
You had a chance to talk to Phoenix after the game?
Yeah, I did. He's doing well. He's in good spirits and everything, and it doesn't sound like anything too serious.
All right. Thank you, Trey.
Your next question's from Mike McFeely at the Forum. Mike?
Hey, Trey, talk a little bit about the pregame video with the message on social justice and how that came about and what it meant to you to have that play before the game.
Yeah, it was really important. Coach Entz actually came up with the idea, and he was just 100% supportive and just, like I said, unbelievably thankful for our coaching staff and everything they did, to support us and just inform us of everything. So yeah, the video is just really a tribute and kind of to inform people, educate people as much as we possibly could.
And I can't see from the press box down to your shoes on the field, but did you wear the shoes in the game that you posted on social media last night?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How important, I know that you've talked about this before, but you put it into practice today doing all of the focus on social justice. I mean, how important, obviously it's an important part of you going forward.
Yeah, I think it should be important to everyone in my mind. It's not a political thing. It's a human rights thing and human life thing. Yeah, I guess that's just my opinion on it in short.
You took a knee during the national anthem, which has been a controversial thing to do across the country with Kaepernick. Obviously, you know all about that. What went into that decision, and you know, where does it go from here?
It wasn't too hard of a decision for me personally. Just continuing to bring awareness and raise awareness to it. And I guess from here, just continuing to educate as many people as I can personally with my platform, as well as just continuing to learn and educate myself as well.
Are you concerned about any blowback from it? Because it is, as you know, with Kaepernick, it's a controversial thing.
No, I'm not. Personally, I just think that, you know, the conversations we had with the guys on our team, just team meetings about it before this week, it was one of those things where everyone was up to, allowed to make their own decision, obviously, and I think that's how it should be. But at the end of the day, you have to be convicted and truly believe it in your heart that what you're doing is the right thing to do.
I counted about 15 guys that took a knee. Did you know that other guys were going to do it? Was it a pre-planned thing?
It wasn't really planned. Like I said, everyone kind of has the opportunity to do whatever they want. I don't think it would have been right of Coach Entz to do that. And, I know that he's going to receive probably more blowback than anyone for it. But at the end of the day, it's him as the head coach. He's in the toughest position of all. So at the end of the day, I think that we need to understand the position he's in. And it wouldn't have been right for him to tell us to do one thing, one way or another.
Last question I have to ask it. Was this your last game at NDSU?
Don't know. Still don't know. Like I said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Is there any other questions about that, by the way, guys?
All right. Your next question is from Eric Peterson at the forum. Eric?
Trey, just describe the lift that Hunter Luepke gave the offense, starting with the run that set up the first touchdown and obviously the catch late in the fourth quarter that kind of put the game away. Yeah,
Hunter's, man, one of my best friends and one of the funnest people to be around. Just a great guy, great person, and obviously comes to work every day, and you guys saw a little bit of that. He got to catch a pass and should have scored another rushing touchdown, too, earlier in the game. But it's just, like I said, it's a glimpse of what we see every day in practice. Hunter's one of those dudes that comes to work, and as you heard, him say he loves to smash face, and he's a chief at heart. He loves to kick out power, and he just loves to hit people. So he's a fun guy to be around, and obviously everyone celebrates when the fullback scores a touchdown.
And then Coach Entz said it's a disservice to call him a fullback just because of some of the stuff he can do. I mean, how would you describe him, or if you had to come up with a position name for him, what would you describe him as?
Man, he's a chief. He really is. He can catch the ball, has good hands and playmaking ability as almost anyone. And obviously him running downhill at you, he's not a guy that I want to get in front of.
Thanks, Trey.
All right, let's go to Dom Izzo at WDAY TV. Dom?
Trey, can you describe just the whole day, emotions from, I know you didn't watch College Game Day, to playing, and now there's no Bison football games until February?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we really truly treated it like, this was our first game of the season. So it'll be weird, I think, maybe hitting it a little bit more next week when we're not, in game week prep anymore. But, it was pretty typical. Emotions-wise, obviously the seniors, knowing Rado and a few other guys aren't going to come back. That might have been the hardest part. Just emotionally, just excited for those guys more than anything. But like I said, it wasn't a whole lot of different game prep-wise or, excitement-wise.
You get a sense as the second half was developing that you were carrying the ball much like the last game you played, the national championship game?
I wanted to. At the end of the day, I missed some throws in the first half, and I was still really confident throwing the ball. Had a big one to Braylon on second down. But, yeah, I was obviously aware of it. Kind of hoping my number would get called almost just because it was efficient and it was working. They were plugging everything up inside. So it was good to get us into some, third and short, fourth and short situations.
Lastly, can you describe the emotion that Coach Entz presented that Dylan's going to go to the Senior Bowl?
Super excited for him. One dude in our locker room that deserves it. It's absolutely him, no doubt in my mind.
Thanks, Trey.
All right, your last question, Trey, is from Dave Kolpak at the Associated Press. Dave?
Hey, Trey, how many family members did you have today in the stands?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Probably about 10, and my high school coach as well.
Okay, another quick question. This is really personal, but my in-laws are at a assisted living facility in Moorhead, and I think your grandpa's there as well.
My
right?
great grandpa.
To make it?
Sorry, it was my great grandpa.
Your great grandpa, okay.
He was not.
And are they locked down? Could he make it?
He was not. He's still staying at home, and obviously with everything going with the pandemic and everything. We want him to stay as safe as possible.
Hey, Seth, how'd that first hit feel?
Amazing. Can't say anything but thank the Lord for giving me the opportunity to come out here and participate today, and the healing he's done on my knee for me to be able to be back where I need to be to compete at this level.
Did you feel pretty much where you were pre-injury? I mean, physically, did it feel like you were cutting like you used to, accelerating like you used to?
I don't feel nor think of my knee whatsoever, no.
Okay.
I'm back to exactly where I was.
What was Central Arkansas doing? The Trey run stuff was working pretty well, but the backs were kind of getting caught up on power and a couple of things. What were they doing that kind of gave you guys some trouble?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really sure. I mean, the couple carries I had, 3 carries I had in the first half, I really didn't have too many issues, but I think they were doing a good job. They have a really nice nose tackle that was doing a good job plugging up the A gaps. So we were kind of struggling running the A gaps, and they were bringing a lot of spear off the edge. So I think that was kind of giving us some issues on our more outside design plays.
You guys have not been down in the fourth quarter in a very, very long time. What's the demeanor like? What's the huddle like when you guys know, okay, it's go time, we need to score?
Just a lot of energy, you know what I mean? We have a lot of confidence in our ability and in each other, and the amount of training and effort that we put in to be able to continue to compete and be explosive even in the fourth quarter. You know, when some guys are starting to get tired, I think that we really just, rely on the fact that we know that we're prepared.
Thank you, Seth.
Your next question's from Dom Izzo at WDAY TV. Dom?
Seth, describe the last time you were played at the Fargo Dome was that 70-yard run you had against South Dakota State. Did it seem surreal to be back today?
I don't know if I would say surreal. I mean, I've just been waiting and waiting for, the opportunity to get back on this field. So it was just really a joyous moment to be able to carry the football here again.
Coach Entz mentioned earlier that you had the Oregon game circled. So when that game went away and with the prospect of not playing, can you describe the emotions of the last 2 months?
I mean, at first, it was a little tough for sure, just because, I had my hopes up for that for sure. But I mean, I believe that God has a plan, and that it was just all it was more time for me to continue to rehab my knee and get to where I needed to be ready. So even though it was tough mentally, right away, I think I kind of realized that it wasn't really going to hurt me to have more time to recover.
You were visibly pumped after those runs in the second half. How much do you think that got the rest of the guys fired up that you were?
Yeah, I was just waiting for the opportunity. Like I said, we have a lot of great running backs in that room, so a lot of dudes, were getting touches, and so I was just waiting for my opportunity to show them what I have.